Well, welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, episode number 73. My name is Tony B. Alongside me, as usual, is David B. and Timmy D. All three of us have our shirts on correctly this morning. Thanks to that be pointing out by someone. But anyways, welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, episode number 73. Today's topics, carriers coming back around for business. David's going to hit some of that. Timmy D's in the studio, Tony B. and David B. We will discuss some other topics that are coming up in the industry and carriers coming back around for business. We're just three Americans discussing the topics that affect the transportation industry. Our views, the views of us three, are purely news-driven and do not express the views of any transportation provider or any business entity. Timmy D, we do it why?
Transportainment.
Boom. That's right. We do it for the transportainment. You can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and our home website, www.ShipsGonnaHappen.com. All you have to do is Google us in the search engine and you shall find us. David B., good morning.
Good Saturday morning to the both of you guys. It's it kind of has an evening, afternoon look to it outside, even though we're broadcasting on a Saturday morning. It's kind of, sky's a little ominous this morning. So it's going to be a good Saturday, though, and good to see the both of you. This week's show, along with all of our other shows, is sponsored by The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Great place to go after Ship's Gonna Happen week and unwind and chat it up with the locals, listen to some music, and kind of have a nice meal and just kind of relax after a long Ship's Gonna Happen week. Timmy D, how are you this morning, my friend?
Doing good. It's going to be a hot one, boys. It's supposed to hit 100 today is what I heard. So get the bags of ice out, cool down the pools, because it's going to be like a hot tub in them. But I tell you what, for being 100 degrees supposedly today, it's awful like it's supposed to be a fall day. You should have some chili in the house, some football turned on, which is coming up soon.
Yeah,
right
around the
corner. I think we're 9 weeks away from opening.
I did something this week that I'm pretty sure I told the both of you that I wasn't going to do, and I renewed my Marion University tailgate spots.
You did what?
Yep, I'm going to go back. Season 12. Season 12 at Marion. So
there you go. It's always a good time. Puts on a good tailgate. You still got the old school fire pit where you grill everything on top of it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you roll in. You don't realize downtown Indy's got a little bit of hills in it, believe it or not. You're in the Marion University's kind of hidden. It's really a really small campus.
Right.
It's probably smaller than the high school campus I went to, just so we're on the same page.
Exactly.
And you see David B's smoke rising over the campers.
Yep.
So, what's up, Tony B?
Hey, good morning to you fellas. David B. I think David B's treated like a golden anniversary alumni member at Marion University, isn't he?
So this is my 12th season there. Yeah. So this will be their 15th football season. And it'll be my 12th to be there. So it's always a good time. And I mean, I kind of always look forward to the fall. I don't know about you guys, but nothing's better than college.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Thank you guys for being here today. We had a guest. He couldn't make it today due to some unforeseen issues, but we're going to get after it.
We're just going to make it up. We're going to shoot from the hip today. What's going to happen?
Yep. That's the way to say it, Tim. Shooting from
I think we should interview producer Tony is what we should do.
Yes, right. yes.
That would be one hell of a boring show.
Producer Tony.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll get into what we had down as, let me tune this music down a little bit there. Yeah.
Music this today compliments of Bella's Bar Talk. They are our new intro music and end music and whatever music. So
you're gonna go see them here shortly, right?
Yeah. August. You know what? Tell us about that a little bit. You've seen them a bunch, haven't you?
I have seen them quite a few times. Saturday, August the 27th and Sunday, August the 28th in beautiful Thomas, West Virginia. Little bitty spot in the road. Not much going through there. Kind of the Canaan Valley area of West Virginia. And that place packs them in for this show.
How do you spell it, David? Just for people to know.
For what we spell in Bella's Bar Talk?
Yeah.
BELLA''S BARTOK.
Yeah, you can find them on YouTube, right?
Yeah, find them. They have their own website. They've got a tour going on now. I think yesterday they were somewhere in Massachusetts. At the end of this month, they'll be in Virginia for this long festival in Bella's Bar Talk. I've seen them New York City, Philadelphia, West Virginia, a couple places in Kentucky, Indiana, 3 spots, Chicago. Tim and I saw him in Chicago, Wisconsin.
You saw him too, Tim?
Yeah. Well, I went out to West Virginia as well.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
I thought that was with Brockett.
At Brockett's Bend.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to Chicago. Had the greatest bartender on a rooftop at a hotel. And then we went over to Bella's Bar Talk, and things get crazy when they get the heads out.
So we're at this rooftop bar, and the bartender was phenomenal. And so Tim and I, our eye catches somebody at the bar or somebody working at the bar, and Tim and I are both like, "Oh, okay." And so the bartender goes, "I can one up that," and we're like, "Nah, we don't think
we didn't even say we were looking at anyone. He could tell, and he goes, "Hey, I got something better than that."
Yeah, and so he leaves the bar. He goes out and literally parades this person around the bar, thinking that, hey. And so we were like, yeah, nice try, but no.
She was a close second, but she was not better.
Yes,
like he went all the way out to like the hostess stand. It's by the elevators, waited for her, brought her in. He was gone for almost probably 5 minutes.
Yep.
Looking for this one, and he's like, "This is it." I'm like, I give you credit. She ain't bad, but man, she ain't competing with the other one.
An A+ for effort, and that was he was outstanding. That was so much fun.
Yeah,
it was a really, really good.
That's
time.
awesome.
And then of course David B. Then the next morning, so we started drinking that day. What time we get on that train? Probably 2:00.
Yeah,
we probably started drinking at 2. Well, heck, we started a Mexican joint that was absolutely amazing.
Oh, phenomenal!
We started drinking at 2:00. I think we got back to the hotel about 1 in the morning. He gets me up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Let's go.
Okay, which is 6 a.m. back in Indianapolis time. Hey, let's go. We so early waiting on the daggone L train up there, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even started running yet. We're the only ones at the bus stop waiting for this thing, a train stop.
Yeah,
for like a half hour.
Sorry about that, Timmy.
We were back before. We were back before anyone in my house was up.
Every time, and that's happened every time Tim and I went somewhere in Nashville, Tennessee, a few weeks ago. I'm like, hey, we got a podcast to record here shortly.
Here's my keys. I'm out, man.
Yeah,
if you want to drive, it's all you.
And I had never driven a Ford before, and that was actually, I like that. That was a nice. Tim's got a nice Ford truck, and that was a
beast, man.
That was a nice ride.
It rides like a car, though. It's quiet. It's
That's
not.
what I hear.
I almost felt like an electronic vehicle because it kind of shut itself off right at lights or something.
It does. Yeah, there's which upsets you when it's 100 out because then it stops the air conditioning.
No.
Yeah, it's my second one. So believe it or not, I know. Well, I'm pretty old, but not as old as you guys. But every vehicle I've ever owned has been a different brand.
Oh,
and
really?
I'm trying to think. I think I own, let's see, Nissan, Mazda, Pontiac, Chevrolet, and then 2 Ford trucks.
So the Nissan and the Mazda, were those manuals?
Oh, and I owned a Honda.
Ooh, motor in the back of her. Was the Nissan and the Mazda, were those manuals or were those automatics?
The Mazda was. I had a little MX-5, rear-wheel drive. That thing would get it. I think it got 33 miles a gallon. That was 20 years ago.
My first manual was a little Dodge Dakota. I drove the shit out of it.
Oh, yeah. Those were good. Those were big trucks in the day.
Yeah,
so
they were small.
You can still get a stick shift truck nowadays. Actually, you can get a Honda Civic comes in the manual. You just got a special request that they make. I think I want to say less than 10,000, but they will make one for you.
Wow.
I think every kid, that's what every kid should drive.
Yeah, I agree.
Put the phone down, learn the clutch, learn the timing. So you don't.
You're exactly right. That'll make people not have their phones in their hands while they're driving.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, I always figured out a way to get it done. You ever shift it with your beer, in one hand, you're hitting the up and down with your glass and bottle. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't encourage. Nor does the Ship Gonna Happen show encourage drinking and driving. Back in the day.
The disclaimer is. Right.
Or he could be like old Popall was. He let you sit in the middle there and shift the truck for him.
Yep.
And put it in 3 there.
You ain't grinding, you ain't finding.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, good morning to you.
Morning.
We'll get into topic number 1. Here we go.
Ooh.
All right, David B. You and I talked about this, thought about making it a big topic here.
So topic, yeah. Tony and I were on the phone yesterday with one another, and Tony actually is the first one that brought this up, just kind of business volumes. And Tony said he was out trying to get business from customers that they kind of weren't going after a year or two ago, which is kind of happening with me on my end of it, where I'm starting to hear things from carriers who 2 years ago just kind of went silent and you don't really hear anything from them. Now they're kind of coming out of the woods. So one of those carriers emailed me the other day, and I just ignored the initial email. And then he emailed back the next day saying, hey, let's talk about this. And so this carrier is based out of Alabama. So that's the only thing I'll say about that carrier. And so I gave him a stern little comeback email saying that, well, for 2 years, I didn't hear anything out of you. And I don't care what your excuse is on why I haven't heard from you. And now that, things are kind of soft or different, you can just kind of go pound sand. I'm not really interested. I mean, if you would have made an effort between those 2 years to at least reach out and say, hey, this is what company policy is, and this is the way things are going. But I said, you guys made no effort, and I have no desire to give you business. So that's just kind of the way I look at it.
Because it's important to keep the bridge alive, right? And keep those relationships going.
If your procedures are what your procedures are, I'm fine with that. But if you don't reach out for almost 30 months and not say a word, and now expect to be getting back in the fold, nah.
Yeah, right.
Not interested. And that's happened a couple different times this week, actually.
So you're seeing the volume pick up more on your end as far as getting.
Yeah, it's always been high, but it's gotten higher lately. Where there's just carriers coming out of the woodwork trying to get business. So is that John Williams?
Yeah, it's John Williams. John Williams, how you doing?
What's up, man?
John Williams, hey.
Oh, now let him know he's on air.
You just woke up? Okay, yeah, I just called you and sent you a text, and Tim and David B were asking about you, and I told them that they were wanting to know if you wanted to hook up today around noon or 11.
Where you guys gonna be at?
10th Street at your hideout.
This is live. Does he know this is live on the air? Let him know.
Well, we're live on the air, by the way. Yeah, yeah.
I might stop by there, man.
Well, we need more than a might.
Yeah, where we go depends on what your answer is.
Yeah, they probably won't go there if you're not going to be there.
Can we do it next Saturday?
We'll work on a different Saturday.
Yeah, we'll work on it. That's fine.
On a different Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you call me, text me on Friday night, man. Let me know if you want me to be on that show, and I'll be up.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, John. Hey, you doing all right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, it's a disaster. I mean, it is. I mean,
well, hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Does he know we're on the air?
I told him. Hang on. Wait, what mark was that? Oh, gosh. All right. Yeah, I got that. Hey, John.
What?
Other than that, you doing all right, brother?
Oh, yeah. I'm fine, man. I just had a new roof put on and just moving down the road.
Nice.
Can you guys hear him?
I can. Yeah, I hear him loud and clear.
John?
What?
You are numero uno. You know that? You're my favorite driver, brother. You know that?
Yeah, I'm glad you're my favorite manager.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Hey, we'll get with you and I'll let you know.
Really? I mean, okay, call me.
All right, brother.
See you, John.
Later, John.
That's should have known. We should have known.
Shit's gonna happen, man. Shit's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Rolling with
when
it.
you get John Williams on, it's all gonna go.
Hey, just speak your mind sometimes.
That's hilarious.
I got you, Tony.
You do.
All right, so that's what were we even talking about? Big J Dub calls in.
Yeah.
Where were we at?
I don't know.
I think we were talking about people wanting to come back and get business.
business. And then, carriers lined up just trying to get business. And I just, again,
got to keep the relationship going. You can't just come in 30 months later and not talk to somebody and say, hey, I need your business.
Yeah. Yeah. But I even gave the exact date and time last time there or not time, but last time there was communication between me and that carrier. And I'm like, nah. And that's happened before. I mean, even pre-pandemic, like there was a carrier that dropped us pre-pandemic. And then like years ago, decades ago, Yellow Freight, or never mind. I shouldn't have mentioned the name. Anyway, we'll just go on. So
you're fine. Go. You're
so
good.
anyway, we had done a lot of business with them, collect business. I'm already starting the story. So we got time to fill. And so they had came in one day, after years of us shipping with them, collect, and one day just like, hey, what can we do to get other business out of here? I go, well, called on me before today would have been one way, so I'm like, nah, just go.
So let's ask this. Why do you, well, you kind of got two things going on in your conversation. First off, well, you got three. Number one to you is they ain't showed their face. Why the heck would I want to talk to you now?
Right.
Second issue you've got is it sounds like carriers are out searching for freight as in there's capacity again on their trucks. Mm-hmm. And third thing that you've got going is what you haven't said yet is people have already made changes to their supply chain for carriers that have been there.
Right.
And how do you incentivize those customers to come back to your company?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So there's three things there, right? And they all kind of go together. I always say that the biggest issue in this market is to make a customer make a change. Mm-hmm. And once they go through the headache and the issues of making said change to another carrier and how they do business and how the partnership goes, to get them to come back to the old, it's like your Dodge Dakota. Are you going back to the Dodge Dakota? Or are you looking for the new Chevrolet that's out there? You know what I mean? Or the new Dodge Dakota. You're not. It's easy to get back onto that bicycle. That's the old faithful. But if you've made the change in the headache and you've already put your staff and team and your sales and everyone through that within the organization, because supply chain affects the entire organization. Shipping is the entire organization. Without shipping, you're screwed, whether it's to your end customer or bringing in goods for jobs for people to do something. So if you make that change, my goodness, that means you've obviously burnt that bridge, and to build that bridge back is going to be extremely tough for every carrier out there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It is tough. And there has been instances in the past where you do have that rapport with that person and you're like, man, I hate it. It's you, but I can't bring myself to, I just can't bring myself to have you back in, or at least at this time, maybe in time further down the road if you continue to make an effort, but right now, no. And there's actually a carrier right on the LTL side that I'm really close to just whoosh, cutting ties just for that reason.
So. I would tell you, you go ahead. You got something? My bad, Tony B.
No,
go ahead.
Nobody that you guys are familiar with.
I thought Tony B had something there.
No, go ahead.
We need video. People need to understand why I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Your freight is not some freight that I would see carriers trying to cut out during all this, right? So there's a lot of people put in extreme configuration restrictions, pallet count restrictions to keep volumes off their network. Just what we call the ugly, nasty freight, the stuff that's not desirable, and that's who's cut out. And the only thing that freight does, if carriers that weren't picking it up or going after that freight again, it's going to slow people's freight like yours down that is good, dense again. Right. And if you guys don't know anything about the LTL, you're basically building a puzzle blindly. That's what happens. Unless you have a 20-year experienced supervisor that knows what every shipper, what their freight looks like when they ship it. The guys on the dock and the gals on the dock are building blindfoldly a puzzle to get maximum space filled. All that air, the less air on that trailer that's consumed on that trailer, the more money you make. And when you've got 8 feet of trailer or 12 or 16 feet of trailer on one item or one shipment in general, you have to have a plan for that versus a 1 or 2Z or 4 or 5 skids. It's a whole different build. And that's why a lot of carriers cut it out, because it was just tying up space on their trailer when they could get more customers. Am I going to service, no offense to you people out there with your ex-con freight, or volume freight, am I going to service 1 or 2 customers on this trailer, or am I going to get 25 customers on this trailer? And that's what they're looking at. Line haul 60% of the cost, right?
Yeah.
So, that's going back to the ex-con people, I think, have no other choice. Like, oh yeah, I'll come back immediately. People people like you, that where the good freight was cut out, it's a whole different bridge to build.
Yeah, and then you had the trailer issues too. People not getting the equipment, so they had to tighten up the space. On the
because they couldn't make equipment.
Couldn't make them. Yeah, couldn't get them. But you're in a pandemic, and it's important to keep those bridges, man, because you can't. It's hard to go back to somebody you didn't communicate with, right, for so long, and then expect them to give you business back. If the relationships aren't brand new there, it's probably not going to happen. So, and then I think you're right, Tim, that when you make those big switches and you stuck with someone during a pandemic that helped you get through the pandemic, it's probably harder to knock on those doors and find people that are willing to just, unless you're just a, massive price buyer and it doesn't matter. Right.
Right. Well, and that's I always said, you know what? I don't care if I hold 16 foot of freight. I don't care if it's 20 feet that you want to use. I'm going to charge you though. I'm going to get paid for it.
Right.
So, I always told the company that I work for, I'm like, hey, let's not just cut ties and tell them no. Let's just tell them it's going to be 6 times the amount of money. Yeah. And it at least gives them an option.
Yep.
And that way I don't cut ties. I'm just saying, listen, we haven't been making money on this. We know we need to make more money on it. Now pick your poison.
Because you and I know that we all know, David knows it too, because David, what we're talking about, they're coming back to you, is it always comes back around, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because the carriers aren't going, they're going to ride the wave for a while, and that wave's going to come down. Same thing with customers, right? And you got to keep that. You just got to you got to have a surfboard to get through the waves, right? And that's the communication, I think. And
I think a lot of people during the pandemic decided to switch more to a 3PL model, especially if there are people who are working from home. I no longer need that traffic manager. I let the 3PL manage all that crap for me. And then, but yeah, I think you got to give, you can't just, I hate when you were like, no, you know what? I just don't want to do business with you. And that's cutthroat. That's fine, but you're never going to get a chance. If I'm in the David B shoes, that's fine. You say you don't want to do business, as in, I'm telling you, I'll give you one skid. You charge me $100,000 to go to California. You're telling me no? Yeah. Right. If you say no, no business should ever say no. I was watching, I can't think of the guy's name. He was on that show. He took $100 and he could turn his business into $1 million in 6 weeks or whatever. And
the Profit? Is it called The Profit?
The Profit Buys. I can't think of it. But he said, give me your cell phone. He was doing a seminar or whatever. He said, who you work for is a bunch of CEOs or whatever. He said, give me your cell phone. Let's call them. Hey, can I buy an air conditioner? Oh, sir, we don't do air conditioners. Okay, but can I buy one from you? No. He's like, you just lost money. You could say, sure, what do you want? You going to tell me they don't have Google at their fingertips and say, okay, I can buy a unit for $10,000. I'm going to charge you $70,000 because I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. You just walked away from profit of $60,000 from someone calling you. Right. Sounds stupid. I get it, right? You can't go to Chick-fil-A and order a freaking Big Mac, but you can't tell a customer no, there's always a price point. As in, make it so unrealistic that they don't want it, but give them the option of a yes.
Yeah. I've done that on the freight side on my end. Like somebody will want something moved and I'll up it. Like I'm like, yeah, but it's going to cost this. And then they still say yes. And I'm like, son of a damn it. Why did you say yes?
Well, then you question yourself, why have you said no before?
Right.
Because you're making so much money.
Yep. Exactly. So you're listening to the Ship's Gonna Happen show on this Saturday morning. We have had John Williams call in already, which was awesome.
It's caught us off guard. I mean,
random calling.
We should have waited for random thoughts for that call.
That's right.
I do want to talk. Let's talk about the port. You guys know what's going on. Everyone out there with the port out there on the West Coast. I know that's Tony B's baby out there, so I'll let him speak highly to this. What I will tell you guys is the port contracts, they expired on June 30th. We're 23 days past that now, so just over 3 weeks. The ports on the West Coast between Washington, Oregon, and California make up 40% of our imports, or they handle 40% of the goods that Americans touch. And the biggest thing is obviously money. Money's always part of the contract with the labor out there. Labor anywhere is always any kind of union, this or that. It's always going to be money, and I get that. And then automation, I guess they're wanting because they feel they're not the union employees are not efficient enough or not doing as much as they need, that they want to go automate it on some of the receiving techniques. And I don't know what that means. Does that mean they're sending it down a conveyor belt and it's getting picked by a machine and moved and there's no longer an operator in there? I don't know what that all means, but that's what's holding the contracts back.
Yeah, they actually, Timmy D, when we did this a while back, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but they actually have drone type cranes that will
cranes.
I don't know. They don't fly, but they're operated like a robot from somebody on the road next to the dock where they're going to dock.
Right.
And they control it, remote control these cranes. And that was what the union said. They didn't want the automation. So they were fighting that. And I guess there was some kind of, the union would allow like a certain percent of it, but then I think, like you're saying, they want to automate, and
so they're looking for job security versus the automation coming in. That's the main, right?
Yeah, I mean, because you're going to have a union. You won't need a union if you got robots, right?
I would like to see what the ports in China look like. Just guessing. Or, I mean, I bet they're all automated. And I'm not saying that ours should be. Don't take it that way.
No, but I'm thinking, why can't the union say, okay, I tell you what, your automation, anything you buy must come from a union-made company.
Boom.
Then you protect more union jobs. Now, it's not your union, but it's still union as a whole.
Yes, sir.
Could you say, okay, I tell you what, let's find a union shop that's making these drones that you speak of, and the operator's got to be unionly trained, and then the drone is only made at a union factory, and that protects those jobs. I don't know.
They had switchers too, like type vehicles that were robot that would back in and pull.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they're prepared to do that. And so that's, I would imagine, to answer your question, because we did a lot of that stuff, and I think the gentleman that we interviewed out there kind of highlighted it. China's shipping in their, the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they built their ports up, right? They have newer type stuff at their ports. Our ports are still with the same infrastructure from the 40s and 50s, right?
So they probably turn and burn in China,
they can turn and burn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus, when you have an extra billion people sitting around,
sitting around,
touche, I guess,
and they start working when they're 4,
right? Yeah.
At 20 cents a week.
You almost said a day, but it is. I think you're right.
A week.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Get your Nikes.
Yeah. And I'm not laughing at this. I mean, I hate the child. Well, let's not get into politics, but I hate that. We don't support that. We're just putting out facts, and it's ridiculous. So, I just thought the ports, that's a hot topic because they're working without a contract.
Yeah, that's a good,
right.
And every American out there needs to understand that if they decide it's no.
Yeah. If you want Christmas. Because a lot of that's probably Christmas coming
at this point.
I was just going to say that it's probably Christmas, and your third quarter fall flip is going to happen here, right? And that's probably starting now.
Yeah, which is all ordered. It's typically every bit of a quarter. It's typically 2 quarters out is what they ordered. Is that saying right? Yep. Anticipation.
Yep.
Which, could you imagine being the purchase manager of Walmart and being able to predict what consumers are going to want
on Christmas
and get.
In July.
You're working in Christmas and March, and you're ordering in May, June, and July.
I guarantee you.
You know what? We need 1.2 million of these Samsung microwaves. Like, how do you know that? Because they don't want to be on the hook for all the extra, right? Because of the shipping costs. They don't want to ship it back. They don't want to store it.
Now that you guys have brought up Christmas, I guarantee you next week I'll see something for Christmas already.
I've already seen Halloween, by the way. They had Halloween. They had Halloween.
That's disgusting.
Where was that at? Wow. I think we were at Lowe's.
It's way too early.
We're at Lowe's, and we were looking for, I think it was mirror hangers, little things, and we walked down. There was like outdoor furniture, like pillows, and they had Halloween pillows. You can't make this up.
This is July.
Yeah. I'm looking for the clearance 4th of July pillows on sale.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Right. That's what I'm looking for. They got Halloween.
Yeah. You don't have your Labor Day pillows out yet?
It's like, man, do you guys, because like for me, it's like I want to enjoy the whole month. I don't want to be thinking about the next month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The next 2 months ahead. I want to enjoy it. This is my favorite month of the year.
I don't like you.
July.
Yeah, I love July.
Tony said he had a flat tire.
Oh, yeah.
He's always Tony's always like, I love hot weather. I love hot weather. So the other day he has a flat tire. I would have loved it. Drove by. I'm like, how do you like the hot weather now?
It was on that day. It was so hot. Yeah.
I've been calling somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had the plugger. The plugger.
You had you have your own plug in your car?
Yeah.
Oh, so you out there doing work.
It was going airing way down and barely got it in time. Usually you got to clean it with that one first.
The metal sander. Yeah. Just give it the old college jab, you know what I mean?
I was like, I hope this works. Please, dear Lord, let this work because it's hot out. It's David B.
I
out.
don't like that.
Speaking of flat tires, I love the videos of the daggone people that put the aerosol cans and light it and pop the tire back on the rim. You guys ever seen any of those?
I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah, they're badass, man. Big old truck tires. I'm worried about it exploding, but they spray I don't know. It's not liquid nitrogen. It's a gasoline basically in a can, an aerosol can that you spray on the tire and it pops it back on.
What?
You haven't seen that?
I'm watch it right now.
Yeah.
We don't condone trying this at home or whatever.
If you know what you're doing.
Yeah. That's what I was just getting ready to say. If you're a trained
I would love to
professional,
do it. I'm worried about blowing up is the problem. It's pretty cool though how they do it. You guys know what I'm talking about? When the tire gets so flat, it's no longer sealed to the rim.
Yep.
So they're trying to seal it to the rim, and they put it on there, and because of that, it actually fills the whole tire up right then and there too, and seals it back on there. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Let's see here. I think this guy's going to.
That's what Tony should have done.
Let's see here. Obviously, YouTube's got to pump a commercial first.
Well, yeah. Ship's Gonna Happen commercial coming to you soon.
That's right.
Got Adam in the house. Where's Adam at?
Old Adam.
Oh, here he sets it on fire.
That's what I'm saying.
Holy shit!
Now
Dude.
that's a fire.
Look at that.
Is it gonna pop yet? Where we at?
Yeah, he's gonna set it on fire here.
So Tony's playing the video of the tire getting put back on the rim.
Boom, done. Look at that. Oh, that wasn't a fun one.
Wow.
Here you're gonna see the tire slowly start to look like a football using the playoffs.
Oh, he's using. I've done that too. I had to do that on my zero turn. You use a ratchet strap and you tighten it so it's up against the tire, and then there you go. That'll help blow that one. Boom, together. But you use a ratchet strap, and then you can air it up, and it pushes it out because you're holding it.
Okay.
It doesn't work as well as they say. I end up filling mine with foam.
All right.
But is it lighting that one? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right.
I was gonna like this one.
I wonder if anyone that's listening has ever done this.
I bet you. What was Jeremy's brother-in-law's name?
Bill.
Thank you, David. God, man, you're on it,
We
dude.
need to have Bill back.
I bet
this.
Bill's done it before.
Let's see if he gets it.
Maybe John L. Williams has done it before.
Yes.
Call him back.
So bad.
Call him back.
I wanted to ask what he was wearing. I'm like, no.
That's kind of
hilarious.
a personal question.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and John would come right out with it. So
Yeah. But Timmy D, that's pretty good that you brought that up because obviously it's big news right now, right? Here it is, right here.
Yeah, I mean the port. People don't realize if those ports shut down, we're done.
Yeah. Good.
We're done.
Yep. Exactly.
Matter of fact, I think Tony and I are out of jobs because of all the shipping needs, because that's all raw goods and consumer ready goods. I mean, it's nothing but LTL.
We'd have
So
to domestically produce it.
So
Good luck.
Tim and I had listened to a radio show before this had happened saying that they thought that this wasn't going to happen. They thought all this was, remember that? Where they thought that all of this was going to get resolved prior to the end of that contract. So it hasn't been resolved yet.
No, and we're, like I said, we're 3 weeks past contract. So at what point are they going to, and then California's going back to mask
The industry
mandates,
experts
so
said that it wasn't going to happen, but it
Really?
did. So, yeah.
they're asking for the Biden administration to step in and help out as well to try to help facilitate the talks. And it sounds like both parties are so far apart, but yet they're still working. If you're that far apart, I don't know how you're still working. I'm not asking them or encouraging anyone on the West Coast to shut down. Please don't.
Right.
Let's keep American rolling, as they say, right?
Did I just hear you say California is going back to their mandate?
Yes.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yep.
A couple states have. New York, maybe too.
Well, here's what they're worried about. Again, not to get into politics, but basically their numbers are going up. They're worried about that because of the at-home rapid test, that 90% of cases are not being reported anymore to the health boards because everyone's doing them at home.
I see.
So they're saying, okay, if we're up, if we went from 6,000 to 16,000, that means we're probably realistically at 76,000. They're just doing the projection again. It's all that projection stuff. I can't predict what I'm eating for lunch, let alone predicting.
I mean,
let's not get into politics. Let's get back to trucking. What's new? How have your supplies been coming into you, David?
It's still.
Are you still struggling?
Yeah. So we get, like, if we order this, let's just say 10 rolls of paper to print labels on, we'll get 3. And
really,
yep, it's still the same. Nothing's different. It's tough. I've heard supplies are getting better, but I've also heard people just sucking it up too. I don't know. There are a lot of the supplies that are getting better because I also do the inbound stuff too. And there are a lot of supplies that are getting better, but it always seems like it's that vital one thing that, like that one piece, it's that one piece to that puzzle where you're still like, son of a gun, we can't get that.
Have you noticed it keeps shifting? Like every 3 weeks, it's now this new hot item that you can't get.
Yeah, and I am seeing rates go back up just a smidge.
You are?
Just a smidge.
As far as truckload?
Yes.
So truckload, we talked about truckload capacity was down. I think we talked about the LTL, or was it the hull was down 4.1%, probably 4 or 5 episodes ago. So, I mean, to your point of carriers now calling, right? Yep. If they reported that it was down 4%, which doesn't sound like much, but it's huge.
Yeah, it's a big number.
4.1% down. That means now you've got that capacity. Plus, it was probably already turning down before that. The month before that was probably 3%, 2%. You add all that percentage up, you're down to 85%. You got 15% of capacity left on your trailers. That that's why they're calling you, David B. What you got for me? What you got?
Surprisingly, for about 5 years now, I've been able to move an inbound St. Louis for $700, and I'm still knock on whatever. I'm still able to move it for $7 until next week when somebody comes in and we need to take a rating. But it's okay that the company I work for is taking 9 this year already. So
9 raises?
Not that many. 9. 9's an exaggeration. Probably 4 at least.
But 9% total, probably.
Yeah, probably
more than that.
We gotta. Sometimes I get involved with the purchasing part of I do the logistics part of it, but sometimes I'll get lumped into those emails. And we did have a supplier the other day that took a 12% increase. One of our biggest suppliers, and 12% increase effective August 1st. So
dang.
Costs are up.
Did you call your boss and say I need a 13% increase?
So we did, to Timmy D's point, we did have a state of the company kind of thing, and business is up over projections by 20%. And that's the thing, when you hear that, you're like, yeah, but you got to take care of who. So
your company's doing 1/5 more, but your salary does not reflect said workload.
Absolutely not.
So are you able to keep the same suppliers connections, or are you guys having to change that around? Or?
No, keeping the same. Yeah.
Oh, you just bent over and took it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what other options. So
reapplied it.
That particular product that we have brought in, the supplier, like 6 years ago, we had a different supplier, and I think things just went to poo. And it's probably going to be tough. I mean, to what we talked about earlier, I think it will be tough to find a new supplier nowadays. I mean, I imagine they're probably trying, but I don't know how easy that would be.
Isn't that now? That's a tide. That's how you turn tides. Is instead of the reps from the suppliers going out finding people that want to buy, we've got the buyers come to us. Right. Now that is a product that you want to have.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't really need you. Quit calling me, you know? Yeah, I don't know. We just kind of random. This
a lot.
John Williams thing has got us all screwed up. I'm telling you.
These random call from John.
John Williams on a Saturday morning. One of the best guests.
So you've been able to keep your same suppliers and stuff. What's really changed, do you think, in like what you do as far as your supplies coming in and out? What have you learned, I guess, mainly from the COVID moving forward as far as like what you do?
So I don't want to go too deep into this, but what I've learned the most is as a business, you just need to have the proper workforce in place to make sure that to me, I always try to look at it as we need to do better on our end. And so we do need to do better on our end just by making sure we have the right amount of workforce and the correct employees in place to continue to grow and to continue to move things. As raw materials come in, we need to be quick and just get things produced and move them right back out the door and stuff. And there's just times where we don't do that. And that's one of the things that really has just baffled me over the years, why, a certain company that might be 100-plus-year-old company doesn't have 25 and 30-year plus employees just every day. And I don't know if anything I've learned, but it's always been this way. This isn't anything new.
But you're not the only one like that.
That's completely what I'm saying.
I think the pandemic kind of, if you're a happy employee, you had no problem coming back to work.
Right.
But if you were not really happy or thrilled every day you woke up to go into work, you're like, I could care less if I go back into work.
To your point, Timmy D, the hourly employees that are standing around huddled and listening to the company doing 20% over budget, and that what's going through their head? What is the?
Where's my 20 cents more on the hour?
Yeah. Well, why?
Whatever.
Why? But anyway, I'm not trying to speak ill about anybody or anything.
No,
but
but
it's always been this way. In my 34 years, it's always been this way.
That's why we can't get employees to come back to work or back to the job they were at, because they know now, kind of like the carriers were to their partners that they did business with, was now the ball has shifted. It's the employee that has the ball in their court.
Yes.
Because everybody wants the same employee. So it's like, did I really like my job, or would I like to go figure out what else is out there and what else I can get paid? Especially when you're making $15 an hour and the guy right next door is paying $20 an hour.
Right.
And it's,
there's some good to it though, right, Tim? There's some bad to it. There's
but why would anybody want to work for an LTL company as a forklift handler on a dock right now? Every LTL dock is, well, I won't say every, but 95% of the docks in America are outdoor, right? Mm-hmm. You're making $15 to $25, maybe $30 an hour. You go work for Amazon right now, name your vacation, name your schedule, and make $20 an hour in a controlled warehouse. The difference is you do got to bust your butt or they'll get rid of you. But what I'm saying is the employee now can pick and choose and probably make more money. Yep. My brother just took a new job with another. He was in kind of like a David B role, and now he's moved into the LTL to a big company. And he made $20,000 more dollars. He's a 7 to 3 employee. Sits in a controlled office, not on the dock busting his butt anymore, making $20,000 more.
Wow.
And he was a loyal employee. He was at that company for, I'm going to say 15 plus years. That's he was loyal. Yeah. He was loyal as could be. And he showed up every day between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. He'd leave between 5 and 6 o'clock at night every day. People call off. He worked nights.
Yep.
And I kept telling him, dude, you're not making no money, man. Go somewhere else. And finally got his resume together. He's like, you know what? You're right. Let me go see. And sure enough, within 2 weeks, he had multiple offers from different people.
Desirable guy.
Wow.
But he shows up to work. He just got burnt out. And it was because of upper management that got him. He didn't feel valued as an employee. The company's doing so much more and he ain't making any more. Yep. Right? That don't make no sense.
Nope. By Friday every week, I'm mentally just drained. Drained.
That's more than a Monday for you.
It's getting really eerie looking outside.
It is.
We got a tornado coming in.
Well, if you look that way, there's stuff flying in the air.
But
shut up.
Look at how dark Tony is now. There was a little light shining on you, but now you're kind of ominously dark.
You see stuff flying in the air.
Are we going to be live on the air and get hit?
I don't know. There's my phone.
It's been real nice knowing everybody. If everyone tell,
yeah,
we've died live on air.
Yes. So much for Sunny and 100 today.
Well, I think it's going to come back. What is it? I'm not getting any weather.
This is interesting.
Oh, wait, here we go.
Oh,
severe weather 940. National Weather Service has extended a thunderstorm watch to include the following areas.
You listen to Ship's Gonna Happen show. You never know what's going down.
Today's weather forecast. National Weather Service has extended the forecast.
Tony Gregory today with the weather.
If you guys don't know who Mr. Gregory is, he's a legend forecaster in Indianapolis on the news.
Yep.
And to the point, his son.
Right.
I mean, his son is older than me, and he's where's he at? Channel 6 now?
They finally got the guy to retire, right?
Aren't they both retired now? Is the son?
The dad had to retire.
Bob is the old one,
Right,
and
Bob Gregory.
Greg is the son. They were.
I don't think it's Greg.
Isn't it Greg?
I don't think it's Greg Gregory, is it? I don't think it is.
You may be right. I would literally slap my dad every day if he named me Greg Gregory.
Could you imagine? Yeah, could you imagine? Channel 6 is where
it is Greg Gregory.
Is it? I think it is.
No.
Yeah, it is.
What is it?
What is it? Wish TV?
No, 6. It would be
WTRV.
Yeah.
6.
WRTV.
WRTV.
WRTV. Listen to us this morning. We hope we still have listeners.
Yeah.
Stick around for our
We hope everybody's still listening.
Let's see here.
It does look. It's ridiculous outside.
Ominous.
Hey, Tony, you have to turn the lights on here. I see Dan.
It's kind of like this.
Kevin Gregory.
There we go.
Kevin Gregory.
It's been that way since he's. How old is he? He's got to be 60 now because his dad's got to be 85.
Kevin Gregory.
Tony's got some mood lighting going on.
Yeah, he does. So you listen to Ship's Gonna Happen show.
Yes, you are listening to Ship's Gonna Happen show.
We have absolutely nothing to talk about because we had no interview that we thought was going to happen.
We came prepared today, as you can tell, but this is most Saturdays. So
I knew I should have brought beer. I was going to.
I almost texted
He's not
you.
57 years old.
Oh, I bet he is. I bet he is. Yeah, he's been there forever.
Dude, I look better than that guy. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
You definitely give a better forecast report.
Yeah, go to channel 8 and look at those meteorologists. You damn sure don't look as good.
All right, let's get back to the show here.
So is it going to rain?
Let's talk about, okay, here we go. Let's talk about truck drivers in this kind of weather.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
There was in Wyoming, there was a dust storm. Did you guys see the dust storm that went
through
Wyoming I-80 and just blew the shit out? There was like 6 trucks that got blown off the road.
Really?
There was like a 20-car pileup. Yeah, it was bad.
That's how you check if your fifth wheel's good, is when you go sideways. If that trailer's still hooked to your tractor, then you know the fifth wheel hook is good. Exactly. It's not a high hook.
Exactly.
So that's the
John
deal.
Williams be proud of that.
We got a storm moving up north.
Yeah.
Up where you're at by the region?
Yeah.
Region.
It looks like it's hammering the region.
Region Rat Radio.
Yeah. Region Rat Radio. That's a good radio station.
It would be.
Region Rat Radio.
I could not. I mean, Rich knew all about that, didn't he?
Rich. He was on.
Yeah.
He was on. He was good.
Who's Rich?
Oh, jeez.
I'm kidding.
So anyway, man. We got a guac off to talk about.
Guac off. Hey, you know what? Let's start it like this.
And go ahead.
Timmy D brought in a sample
last Saturday.
You guys tried it live on air.
It did not last long in this house after he left. It was he could probably bottle it.
So the very next morning I go home and I'm like, I went to Meijer to get groceries, which I normally don't do. And I'm like, avocados from Meijer. Here we go. So I went home and I mashed up my own guac and put it in the refrigerator. It's the very first taste. I'm like, yes. And put it in the refrigerator for an hour and pull it out. And like, no, dang it. So I'm going to try. I'm going to give my best. The 2-time defending champ, Timmy D, definitely brings his A game. And that's so much fun. And I have a gut feeling. I'm a gut feeling guy. And I think this year is going to be huge with the amount of people that are going to be there.
Timmy D is trying to run a 3-peat.
I don't think it
all
can be
good.
done. People's taste it. Mine
down.
stands out. Everyone's gonna know what mine is. I'm gonna vote against.
No,
Don, no,
was really good.
no.
I'm gonna try a different one next week.
So
I'm gonna see if
I
can do
invited some people we had dinner with a couple last night, and they're going to be there. And she's like, "Which one's yours?" I'll vote for that. I go, "No, I'm not telling you which one is mine. You just vote for what you think is best." I said it's for a charity. Don't. I'm fine with.
So I finally got there was a neighbor, I don't know, she was moving out or selling, his house was too big, and they had it was a 6 foot by 3 foot mirror. And I got that put behind my downstairs bar finally. I told you I want to put a mirror back there. I had to move the guacamole trophy out the way.
Oh, jeez.
I had to dust her off and clean her up, and I'm like, I'm just going to have to bring this one with me. I know it's not coming home with me this year. But,
Wow.
I had a nice little spot for it,
If yours tastes like that again,
I did hear Jen. I did hear Jen last night bragging on the house. The house makes one too. The house, as in the Great Divide, and she's like, "Well, ours always finishes second." And I'm like, "Yeah,
I always get second. They got the small little trophy.
So the this year's Guac Off is sponsored by the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, and the benefits go to the Indiana Blind Children's Foundation. If you cannot make it that day and do want to donate, you can go to indianabcf.org and go to their donation tab and make a donation to that charity, which supports the Indiana School for the Blind. So
awesome charity.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Friday, August the 12th, the Great Divide, our 2-time defending champ, Timmy D, will be there. All 3 of us will be there. And you can meet us if you're new to listening and want to stop by, please do. And it's going to be a really, really good time. And I think it'll be very big.
Thank you, David. Timmy D's got postcards he'll be signing for people.
He does have pictures.
Yeah,
He does have a picture that
he's got a short book about 10 pages long that's got a guac
Page
recipe.
1, avocados. Page 2, salt.
Yeah, salt. Page 3.
So Matty Ice is going to enter this year, who's often on this show.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to him the other day. And so I always call me dumb, whatever you want to call me, but I always call avocados guacamoles.
Okay.
I don't know why. I've always said they're just guacamoles because now outside of being a grown adult now, and I actually eat avocados outside of guacamoles very rarely though, because typically when I'm buying them, I'm making guac.
Yep.
But I do like them like in a salad. I don't mind them on like a burger now. I really like a good avocado taste. I used to throw up from avocados, but I call them guacamole. So I was talking to him. He's like, "So what do you put in your guacamole?" I'm like, "It's real simple, nothing to it." I said, "I put guacamoles." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, I mean avocados." And then just told him a couple other. I've showed you mine. There's nothing
Did you
to
lie to him at all? Did you tell him to put your hot sauce in there?
No, I don't tell him all. I put guacamoles, cilantro, onion, tomato, lime, and some garlic, and some salt. That's it. I got a couple of little jazz things in there that you don't need to know about, but that's it. It's simple, fresh, cut up, and mixed. Nothing else.
Well, that's good.
Oh,
It's
and some
definitely
jalapenos. I forgot about the jalapenos.
jalapenos.
I couldn't really taste those in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put. Never mind. I'm not saying what I put in mine. But my wife's like, I don't taste that. I go, you're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be an overpowering
Like
taste.
barking out at it.
Now, I got to give credit to my baby mama and the middle kid because they always taste it first and let me know what I'm missing before I try it.
Yep.
And they seem to have a pretty good palate that I'm missing. I'm always missing some. I don't have enough of something. I can't taste this. My biggest issue with my guac is I'm not a big salt fan. So I don't typically put enough salt. That is one thing I always have to add more of.
Okay.
So, I let them taste it and then I adjust and adjust and adjust. And then I eat half of it, but half
And
of the
then he
fridge.
wins.
And then he wins. Yes, he does.
I'm going to get really drunk this time though.
I
when
want
I
to
make mine.
So I want to do what I think I want to do this year. I think I want to vote 3 times. I want to vote when we get there, sobriety, like without being drunk, and then wait about halfway through, vote again, and then wait till the end, and then vote again.
All 3 votes are for Tim.
Here's what I would like to do. I would like for the people that make it not to vote at all and then add their votes later, which is fine. But I would like to know what the general pop.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we all know whose is what guacamole now.
Right.
really? I
think
never
we
knew.
have. I think we have 7 this year.
7?
Right in my
7
head.
of them?
So
Wow.
I do. There are 2 carriers that are making at least one apiece, and then the house, Tim and me, Matty Ice and Jeremy.
So I hope they don't try mine first because it'll make everyone else's better because it'll mask theirs. You know what I mean?
So
Silence.
they do. So the one thing that Great Divide does do, and it completely threw me for a loop last year. So mine was the 3rd one in that day. So I'm assuming in my head, I'm like, I'm number 3. And so I hear all these, number 3, why not? Number 3 was good. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And come to find out, dead last. I was not number 3. I was number 5.
It takes them a lot of work because they got to separate it and hide it, and they serve it all out in little individual dishes. And she buys the chips. So we talked about this. Can we bring our own chips to match with our guacamole? Because I think chips
are important.
They're huge,
Yeah.
right? You could have extra salty, you could have crispy, you could have thin, you could have thick, you could have all kinds of different styles of chips, right?
Right.
I think it's good that we all decide, you know what, let's neutralize the chip factor and make it straight about the guacamole. So I kind of want to stop down there and just grab a bag of her chips so I can match the 2.
There
I
we
wonder
go.
if she would do that.
I bet she would.
Know?
I bet she would.
But I guess it doesn't matter. I just keep winning. So
There we go.
you know what?
He's got his medal on right now.
So August 12th is it. August 13th, I won't be on the show. I'll be at a golf charity outing. So that'd be the 20th. I don't know if I want to be on the show on the 20th because I have this feeling I'm going to be beat. You guys are going to beat me down.
Yeah.
So that means we can get Matty Ice to fill in for you on the 13th. And so
he may be playing in the golf outing with me. I don't know yet. That's
fine.
yet to be determined. I'll let you know.
So Tim's meeting with Dorito Company, getting his guac bottle.
So I did see a thing on YouTube the other day where they taste tested what the best tortilla chips were, and per that show, the On the Border is what won. It was a blind taste test.
Was it the regular or the On the Border? They make a cantina I think is
I'm
one
out
of the
on that.
best.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so the regular On the Border to me is too thick of a chip. See, I know all the chips, but again, I don't like a salty chip. So yeah, cantina.
You don't like salt?
I don't. I'm not a big salt guy, but the cantina you can buy at Sam's Club, the big bags for like $3, and they're good. Oh no, those are on the Border, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Have you ever been to On the Border itself?
No. Is there one anywhere around here?
Yeah, Castleton.
Oh, is there?
Oh my gosh, it is. Have you been, Tony?
I know, but I know of
Can't
them
even
though.
think
I've
of the
heard
last
of
time
them.
I
It
was
is the
in
best.
Castleton.
It's probably the best Mexican food in Indianapolis. Now, that's a chain.
Yeah.
But they have fresh tortillas that they make like Don Pablo's used to make, and their fajitas are to die for.
Better than Acapulco Joe's?
I'm not a fan of Acapulco
Okay.
Joe. Downtown?
Yeah.
I'm not a,
This past weekend,
So-
thousands of people to Carpinteria for the big 3-day event.
It featured food, crafts, an avocado
It's a guac-
history tent, and 70 bands.
It's a guacamole contest.
Really? Where?
we gotta get us a
El Paso?
Bella's Bartok.
It does sound like Bella's
Festival
Bartok.
had something for everyone, as it always does, including the largest vat of
Here's
guacamole
somewhere in
anyone
Texas?
has ever seen.
The largest
grand
vat,
prize winner of the
California.
World Championship of Guacamole was Mark Schneep, chosen by a team
Whoa,
of chefs.
there's a world
There's a guy
championship.
for you, Tim. Yep.
As she calls it, guacamole. She puts a emphasis on the back end of it.
Yeah.
Guacamole.
Hey, what's that dude's name? Mark who?
What was his name? Aunt Tony?
Hang on.
Oh. Just wait a minute. I have the Dollar General app on my phone.
Celebrity judges was Mark Schneep, chosen by a
Schneep?
team of chefs.
Schneep.
Uh-oh, Tim's coming after you, Mark. You better watch out. Oh, this is from 2014.
He's such in the past.
He's old news, dude. You've went around him. That's a big, look at that. There's a lot of people.
Note to self: from now on, Tony, what year was this?
Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can find a more recent one. We should videotape this one and put it on YouTube.
Should videotape our own and put it on
That's
YouTube.
what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Maybe we'll
I
go
don't think
live
there's
that day
enough.
down there. Maybe we'll
That's
go
a great
live.
idea. That's a great idea.
Here's a video. Yeah, we
Because
probably
the
should.
I'll go
There's
live while we're down
the
there.
sobriety level of any of us to do recording
Tune
for the
in on August 12th for us to go live. Look forward to it.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook.
Guacamole. Yeah, these guys are. That's a bigger deal than I thought.
And then
man.
you get to see also not just the three of us, but some of the regular show people that have been on the show.
Excuse me, thank you.
Jeremy, Matty Ice.
Yeah, Matty Ice, Jeremy.
And then, like I said, broadcasting.
World Championships. Son, I got to get my stuff entered quickly.
Great Divide.
Broadcasting from the building that's divided in half.
So they're doing the remodel. Did
Yeah,
you
they're
look at-
doing.
See any of the remodel?
Dude, they tore all the. I love it. It had old ivy and stuff growing up. They tore it all down,
they have?
painted.
That little foyer step in thing to the front door going.
Really?
Oh, you can follow the World Championship of Guacamole at official WCOG on Twitter. We're gonna go on Twitter and let them know we're having our own guac. If they want some, come on and get some.
That's right. We're gonna throw down.
They got a Facebook. What's going on, man?
Wow.
Oh, look at this little avocado dude. This guy's cool as shit. Excuse my language. He's got a big old like beard on the guacamole himself.
So it's a
he's got a
big
mustache.
thing, man.
Mustache,
I'm surprised they're not following me yet.
I know.
This will be a fun day. When I was down there, when Tracy and I were down there last night for dinner, there was definitely a lot of people talking about it. So,
already?
Posters were catching everybody's eye. There were people making comments like, "Yeah, we got to get to."
What day is it again?
It's Friday, August the 12th.
Friday, the August 12th. Be there or be square.
That's
Timmy
right.
D.
Yeah, so in my head, I'm trying to decide: do I take that day off, or how do I do the day? So I'm trying to
have the day off.
I don't know. I might at least half day it or something. So
I think we should get into random thoughts. We're in random thoughts.
we are. I think we are in this. I don't really have.
You don't really
I'm
have
sure they're
them.
bored with us by now. Don't you
Right?
think?
Yeah, it's probably-
if you're still listening.
If they're still even on there.
Yeah.
Testing.
Testing
Anyone
on.
out there?
Yeah. This is
You've had
this is
zero
what happens
views.
when we had a guest planned and some unfortunate things happened. So
It happens.
I didn't even get
Let's
drunk
get
last
John
night.
Wayne.
I'm gonna go day drinking. You want to go day drinking?
Let's go day drinking.
All right, we'll get an Uber and go day drinking.
Boom, there we go.
Rich's was good too. Rich was, and then the couple that did it in sync. Easy now, easy.
I messed it up. Sorry.
Why?
I thought I started to talk when Rich started his. I hope I don't know if you can cut his.
No, you
or whatever.
didn't.
Okay.
I will. I haven't cut it up yet, but I got to cut a bunch of them. I'll put them on.
All right.
Rich's was perfect. So
Well, so you boys are headed to
Day
do some
drinking.
midday drinking.
yeah,
Well, it's still morning, believe it or not.
you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
I'm gonna have to give me some eggs and a I don't know. I'm thinking like a Bud Light right out the gate, maybe.
Well, I appreciate you
Then we'll
guys.
do
It's
a-
always good to see you on Saturday morning.
Yeah, and the
yeah.
sun's starting to come out. You get in
Yeah,
that pool
so
today, Tony B.
I am
You
gonna
sit
get
back
in
and have a
there.
cocktail, and
I got this leg.
Looks like the weather blew over.
Yeah, it looks like it did. It was moving to the north. Like I don't
Turned
have a
to
map up.
Chief Meteorologist Tony Gregory.
Yeah, Tony Gregory. Hey, this is Tony Gregory. My baby daddy says it's gonna be hot and humid today.
So when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, Chris Wright was in Cincinnati, and I used to listen to Cincinnati radio all the time. And so he would always say, "This is Chris Wright with the right forecast," and and he's still around doing all
still
that
doing
stuff.
wrong forecast.
Right? getting paid.
You know that's
getting
got to be the
paid.
hardest job ever. Indiana forecasting has got to
yeah.
be ridiculous.
That's how David Letterman started, right?
Did he?
Yeah,
Yep.
he was weatherman.
Channel
here.
13. Channel 13.
Yeah, he was no kidding.
Yeah.
He was a comedian, but he also
Went to Ball State.
went to
Ball State studied journalism.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yep.
and
Was
then
a weatherman at Channel 13.
All right. Yeah.
Holy smokes! I would have never knew that.
Yeah, he was always early in his shows. He would always connect back to Indianapolis with an anchor or
Right.
something, or
And Jane Pauley started in Indianapolis.
Jane Pauley. Yeah, Jane Pauley's a legend. Nice lady. I always liked her.
So are we.
Classy lady. Yeah.
In our own minds.
The good Jane Pauley's got the center, right? The Jane Pauley Center for Women. That's where she helps women that have been had issues. I don't know what it's all about. Maybe
I'm not
mental
sure
health
either.
and stuff. But I know there's one on the east side actually. Saw it not too long ago. But anyways,
All right, then wrap her up, Tony B.
all right. Well, you guys have a good weekend. We do it for the transportainment. We hope we transportained you today.
We got a
Yeah,
born.
so we didn't,
We should have been drinking and having. We need an open mic drink day.
we do.
Well,
And,
by your
and Matty
pool.
Ice to be in studio when we do that.
That's why we need to take
But we
that
need to
day
do
off.
it. We need to do it remotely from his his man cave.
So we got, we'll see you next Saturday. Everybody have a good weekend and a good week. This is Ship's Gonna Happen out.